How many times have you heard someone say, if I had his money, I could do things my way?
Alone in the forever woods, made of stone and heavier goods, a clever dome home brightly lit, brilliantly shone. Residents of a former scruff, witty, nimble, with not enough food on his plate, so to compensate, he had an overwhelming desire for stuff. At first understood and even admired until greed took hold, becoming Jack's stronger desire. After struggling through the loss of his mother, he decided no longer he would feel want like another. Inside the shack lay a rather fat goose, overfed with loose tack so he could produce golden eggs by the pack. But if it refused, Jack would rack his neck with a noose. Each golden gift the roosting goose left slid a rift between Jack and his loyal pet. At first gentle was the boy with his pleas, bended knee begging he would bow to the swan, but the relationship crippled as time rippled on. Gathering wealth to hoard for himself, he entrapped the quacking rat with no slack to his shelf. Now, with surging prods, the goose itself struggles on, finding no more wishing for Jack to change his ways. Just wishing for a single moment outside of its cage.
Well now, I reckon it's about time you give me the good stuff, darling. Papa needs an advance on that paycheck. Don't make me use something worse. And quit sounding like a chicken. You're a goose, I hate that.
Jack shoved the cattle prod toward the fowl's jaws. It rattled and cawed. Pure agony for the battered bird, treated like refuse, needed an abuse, is how it lived to serve its absurd recluse, not quite the life deserved. Steps ever slipped, creeped outside, quick and nimble, tips gripped a ledge while eyes pried. Each night Goosey Goose would pray to get loose, but by instinct he cawed when a spine sleepy he saw. Jack gripped the bird like an AK, a pair of wings and a pair of feet in each hand, quite the display, staring eye to eye with the goose while the gooses faced the opposite way. Sleepy burst through the archway. Jack cocked the bird, its head and stomach compressed, expelling, taking a golden egg to her chest. It felt like her lungs had went into a rest as her breast and the rest throbbed thoughtlessly through her vest.
Well. I've been waiting for you ever since I heard you escaped the castle. Pretty little thing like you took one whole week to get to me. I'm disappointed. I figured I'd be higher on your list.
Sleepy coughed, ruby red, gripping the cloak over her bruised bones as the mirror glared and stared from a window all alone. Jack grabbed Sleepy by the hair and dragged her down the stairs to the outside and then slammed her down on the ground with his might. He reached into his pocket, pulling out something green, and began littering the area with magical beans.
Now watch this.
Jack stood back and spat before her feet when Sleepy found herself at the peak of a 20-foot tree.
Ain't that a sight? These things are damn right magical. Thanks to that goose inside, I can afford a never-ending supply.
She eyed the wide 3-gallon bucket of water overflowing.
I think you know where this is going. Oh, by the way, say hi to the giant up there. You know, before he ripped you to shreds.
Splashing around as roots crashed to the ground, propelling the mound of leafy mass high in the sky. Sleepy found a vine, held on for dear life as the stalk swayed side to side and began to petrify. It bent and slammed against an invisible brace, quite loud, a puffy masquerade designed to shroud the location of something both terrifying and beautiful. Sleepy dared to take a step, not knowing where the footings be next. She stood in front of the castle, silent, preparing to battle the hair-raising giant, pearlescent luminescence. The ivory tower stood proud, camouflaged within the mounds of fluffy clouds. Tales from past retold of creatures falling cold to the unforgiving ground, soundly crushed by rage uncontrolled. Tossed down from the blue yonder, leaving a reminder of somber times ended, lost lives ran back, turning into the dust of old. Many armies lay siege to the sky domain, yet its single king remained one and the same. Despite the trebuchets that tossed flaming death towards the sun, never came the day of the giant's reign undone. A creature beyond compare, dangerously skillful and violent. For the first time in many years, Sleepy's hand shook no matter how hard she tried to hide it. With her last ounce of courage and also her sanity, she rushed the broad gates, preparing for a costly calamity. The stress was nothing new. That fear and uncertainty she knew too well. What's left to do but progress through when your surrounding view is already hell?